So is anyone else nervous that the fact that we have docked in the exact same spot that the Titanic did before?
No.
No? Okay, good.
No, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. The Titanic, immigration to North America, the Great
ships to Australia, the Great Famine, and the Lusitania.
The Lusitania. Wow.
What did that cost?
This is the Cork Heritage Center. So we finally actually figured out where our room is. Yeah, so the one that's between the two stars, the red and the blue, closer to the blue one, that is our room. So you'll see one big one, and then two, and that's us. So, Emerson, you can explain what this statue is all about.
This is Annie Moore.
Annie Moore.
Brothers, Anthony and Philip.
Mm-hmm.
And they embarked from this town on December 20th of 1891 on the SS Nevada.
Okay.
Annie was the first person to be admitted to the United States of America through the new immigration center at Ellis Island on January 1st, 1892.
Interesting.
So this sculpture was unveiled by the President of Ireland, Mary Robinson, on February 9th, 1993. He was erected by Cobb Heritage Trustland and is dedicated to all who immigrated from Ireland.
Nice. So the first person to be inaugurated into the United States.
Through Ellis Island.
Through Ellis Island. Okay. So the Queenstown story. So I might go through that later. But there's the Cork Museum up those stairs. Is there an elevator?
And if you want to go, it's all yours.
I might go through this one later before we get on the ship. That's like something out of a Laurel and Hardy or a Three Stooges movie, that staircase right there. You start at the base with a big block of ice and you end up at the top with a little ice cube. Interesting old buildings. And then newer looking buildings next to it. I love the architecture throughout the town. Wonder if Elizabeth Arden lives there with the big red door. What?
That's cool.
There's another park for Emerson to play in right there. Oh, look at that flower garden. Yeah, inside the old life raft boat or whatever, or a little rowboat. There's a secondhand store over there called the Restore. I don't know. Do they have a little pedal merry-go-round for you guys to play on? So they do not have a merry-go-round, but they do have a cannon, which I believe is a must to have in any children's park to play on. Oh, not just one, but two. Oh, this is the haunted hotel. The Commodore Hotel. The Commodore Hotel, sorry. Ghosts served daily. All right, what? So yes, is this supposed to be one of the most haunted places in Ireland? At the Commodore Hotel. One of the most haunted hotels in all of Ireland right there. Vivi, let's go in. She loves watching things about haunted places, but she doesn't want to go in haunted places. Look at that gorgeous church right there. Beautiful. You always see the really pretty churches over in the UK and Ireland, and these houses here that you see. We'll get a better view of them up here, but they're painted different colors. Looks like they're just having a little craft show or something. Look at that. There's the captain of the Titanic right there looking out at us. Don't play with your balls here. What's this? Here. In memory of Robert Ford RN, 1875 to 1959, who served on Terra Nova with Captain Scott and took part in the 1910 to 1913 British Antarctic expedition. Look at that. So there he is, Robert Ford. And then there's another plaque here. This is erected in appreciation of the enormous contribution of the Presentation Brothers to education in Cork from 1889 to 2012. I'm going to go over here to this very interesting looking sculpture of a man in a boat holding a paper boat. And it is called The Navigation. Interesting. There's that beautiful gazebo. And there's one of the cannons. We have 1, 2, 3, and 4. There's a murder happening in this park.
And even another one.
Yeah, there's actually 5.
Oh my gosh, 5. Even a greater murder.
Oh, they can't even stick.
Now there's 2 of these. One's here, and one is way over there. And normally it is a fountain, but the fountains are not on today.
Like bucket hats very much. They're not going to have practice in the towers. And Papa John.
So over here we've got a bunch of businesses. That's the library right there in front of us. And over here, this is a better shot of the deck of cards, they call it. So you don't think this might be the deck of cards? Because it's more like houses. It wasn't businesses, right? So there is a Titanic museum here.
Be an M, a C, and an A. It's the one.
I am impressed with that church. Look at the size of the cathedral. Isn't that gorgeous? My goodness. Sonia.
It's all got to be that way. MCA.
There you go. Sonia O'Sullivan,
Oh, she's just saying.
international athlete and local hero. And look what these girls are about to do. MCA. Look at that, Sonia. Little did you know that you were going to be part of a YMCA. And there she is. This is what she looks like. There's the real Sonia O'Sullivan. Got gourmet coffee here. And handcrafted artesian gelato. Hot scoops. You just waiting for the gelato place to open? Home of the hot ice cream donut.
It's like a
What?
donut, but it's an ice cream, but it's a donut and it's
hot. If that doesn't explain it, well, we don't know what will. On the way back, we might have to try that. This ice cream shop is called Addicted. This is the most ice cream town that I've ever seen. We've already passed like 6 or 7 different ice cream places, but that's awesome. This is our kind of town, because Becky and I say there's any day is a good day for ice cream, and this place has no shortage of ice cream shops. Right, Becky? Becky wants to live here because of all the ice cream shops. Look at, I think there's another one coming up over there. What do we have here? Oh. Oh, they're like tiles. Yeah, from the Lusitania.
Shore on the 7th of May.
Okay, so this is the memoriam of survivors and victims that were brought to shore. So, and everybody's got an age on there. There's age 5.
Someone said
there was a 2-year-old on here somewhere. There's age 8, and there, Mrs. Booth Jones and her daughter.
He
Elisa.
passed away.
Oh, yeah. 27 years old. Wow.
Age 3.
3 years of age. Miles Mary. Not only is this ship famous for sinking, of course, but you know what it did to the United States? It brought us right into World War I.
Wow.
That's right. They said sinking a civilian ship like this was just too much.
4 years old.
So the sinking of the Lusitania brought the United States right into World War I. What's that? Oh, look at that. All the coffins. Look at that. Yeah. In this car park, there is a ride called the Wallitzer. It's kind of like one of those that spin around and around that you would see at a fairground. There's a Turkish barber. There. That's a Keen house over there. O'Brien's Beds. Gifts. I don't know if I'd ever give a bed for a gift. I don't know. And Pakfara. What'd you call me? This old building here is now a Chinese restaurant. The Wan Fu Chinese restaurant. Okay, look all 5 ways before crossing the street here. There we go. If you ever come to Cork and you're not feeling very good, you can always visit the Well House. Get better. Just kidding. It's a live music venue. It's a pet store. The Stock Bowl. Is Emerson going in there to see if she can buy something for Coda?
No, she's
Her dog? Oh, she's going to go see if there's a cat or something in there. Of course she is. The Funktown room. Oh, the Funkyton. What is it? What would you say it was? The Funkton? Maybe it's just the Funkton. So back home we have places like Ace Hardware and True Value. Here you would go to Fitzgerald Electrical. It's kind of like an old Radio Shack of days gone by from the United States. Here comes Emerson. So Emerson, did they have any cats or anything in there?
No, just birds and fish.
Just birds and fish. Oh darn, skunked again.
Some cute fish.
I think it may have I don't know, it's still in its talons, but Emerson's trying to figure out what the crow is eating because it's very stretchy and icky and gooey, and it's probably some kind of a fish or something, you know, since we are right here by the water. The water is right on the other side of that wall. So this mural here is the Harbor Row from Cork, the March for Freedom of 1921. Organized, I believe, by Lily Hawes, Cork Rebel Hero. This is where Robert Ford RN, the Arctic explorer who we just saw the plaque for, lived here. So this used to be his front door right here. Isn't that something? The things you just come across on accident. Don't even mean to sometimes. Just walked by this Cork Credit Union, and my gosh, the smell was just absolutely lovely. It was a very floral smell. So I didn't know if it was the lady that came out of there that smelled so good, or if it was the place itself. Okay, is this the deck of cards? I don't know. What's that little plaque say right there? Look at all the colorful places down this street. I like this little sports car here. I don't know what it is. Let's look on the back. Nope, no clue.
My car.
This is the color of your car, yeah. This is a Peugeot. Is there a hood ornament on it? It's a gorgeous little car. No? Oh, I don't know either. This is a midship runabout, it just says. So midship. Okay, so the mystery's been solved. It says Toyota inside there. So, very sharp little car though. It's so funny, you know, I'm wearing my Chicago Cubs stuff today, and just the locals will just come up and just start a conversation with you, you know. Oh, are you from Chicago? Yeah. And they just walk down the street with you and talk with you. Very nice people. Ooh, look at that. Look at these. Aren't these pretty? These like different lights and chandelier type things. So, Mom, we've come all the way to Ireland. You want to get some Chinese food? So, yeah. So, one of the houses that is part of the deck of cards is actually for sale at 23 Westview, Cork, and it's going for £225,000. This is or was an old steamship company across the way here. The telephone. There's an Irish telephone booth. How about that? Hey, there's their ship. Angel, to the memory of all who perished by the sinking of the Lusitania, May 7th, 1915, and in the cause of universal and lasting peace. I love that library there. And that's how you would get to the cathedral, is you go that way and then you go up and around and up the hill. And I don't think Becky wants to do that today.
It's really hot.
I know. It's a heat wave. So I was trying to explain to the girls, if you are in the town where it was the last place the Titanic ever sailed from, you've got to go into the museum. But they said no, so I am going alone. But it is a Titanic in Queenstown, when it was called Queenstown. And so let's go on into the museum and see what it's all about. So this used to be a revolving door. So if you got off the Titanic, you would be going this way. Everybody getting on the Titanic in Cork, or in Queenstown at that time, they would be coming in, and this is actually where they would have bought their tickets, right here. And the tickets are very awesome. This is what the ticket would look like. I am Reverend Charles Leonard Kirkland. And I would have been entering at this point onto the Titanic, and then at the very end, I will find out if I survived or perished in the sinking of the Titanic. So this was a real passenger at the time, and I am second class. I am not the first class, but I am like the second class, which is still pretty well off. It's a lot better than third class here. But they got a lovely gift shop here. Might just have to get a magnet of some sort. They have like a Lego Titanic right here. And look, it even comes with an iceberg. Oh my goodness. There's the fancy plates from the Titanic, from the White Star. So here's the ticket prices. An adult is €11, child is $7.50, student $9.50, and a senior is $9.50. But you can also get little like packages a family of 2 adults and 1 children or 2 children, so you save a little bit of money that way as well. Here's an actual photograph of people just about to get onto the ship. And these are the doors that is going to lead us in to the museum.
We have Anne, Moss, Harry, you are so welcome everybody.
So there was no filming in the Titanic Museum because there was a lot of copywritten things. They showed lots of like movies and films and things like that. So, but it was interesting none the least. I was mistaken. Our ship is not where the Titanic docked. So where we were, I'm going to show you pictures. So there's the museum, and then right behind the museum, which is also the ticket office, there was a dock, and that's all that's left of the original dock. They would take a tender. They would take a tender, and they went right out, and that's actually 2 islands out there, and then there's like a little canal, and the Titanic was docked outside that, so you had to take a tender. So the first class passengers, of course, went first, then the second class passengers, and then the third class passengers with everybody's luggage went last. But they took 2 tenders to cut down on time, and they would reach the ship out there, which is not visible, nor will we be able to see it, I don't think, when we leave. Because that canal is very, very narrow. So, but that's where the Titanic was, not where our ship is here. So I won't, like I said, I'll show you everything in the Titanic Museum, but through pictures. But alas, I will let you know, my ticketed passenger, the good Reverend, did not make it. His final destination after he reached New York was to go to Canada, where he lived, and but he was lost at sea. His body was never recovered. I was one of the passengers that last boarded the Titanic at its final stop before crossing the Atlantic. So very sad story, indeed. So great loss of life. Over 1,500 people perished. Only 400 and some odd people actually survived, just because not enough lifeboats, and it was just tragic, just absolutely tragic. So, all right, well, I'm on my way back to the ship. I did buy some souvenirs at the Titanic Museum, and I will show you those once we're back on the ship. The restoration of this building and the interpretation of the history of Cork as the Queenstown story has been generously assisted by James P. Dever of California, USA, in memory of his father. So I won't be going into the museum, only because it's just, not that it's too expensive or anything like that, I just don't have the time. So I have to be back on the ship by 1 o'clock, and it is 12:30 right now, so won't have enough time to visit this wonderful museum, but I did get to see the Titanic one, which was fantastic. So we'll have to do it next time. So, but here are some of the things that we would learn inside this museum. Annie Moore, who was the first immigrant to be processed in Ellis Island on the 1st of January, 1892. We just saw her statue and her 2 brothers right over there. Yeah. From From 1815 to 1970, over 3 million emigrated from Queenstown. The failure of the potato crop and disease ravages the country. 40,000 Irish men and women sent to Australia as convicts shipped sail from Cork directly to Australia. The Titanic, of course, the disaster, great loss of life. There is a retail restaurant in there. You can do a genealogical research from there, a retail area. It is handicapped accessible.